Hello, second graders. This is Mrs. Tucker again, and today I'm going to be talking to you about place value. That is such an important concept when you're talking about numbers because the place value system really helps me to understand how numbers work and how digits get their values depending where they're placed in the number. I know this is something that you learned about in first grade, so hopefully you're coming to this lesson with some schema already. Maybe you know about the ones place and the tens place, and we're going to add to that information that you already have today. So before I start showing you different numbers and we start building them with our base 10 blocks, because we're going to be talking a lot about model form today, I want to go over some of the important vocabulary. So the first word that I want to talk to you about is the word digit. And I think that you've probably heard that word before, but a digit is just a number, okay? So in our number system, we use the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I use these digits to make different numbers. So I can combine several of these, or I could just use one of them to make a number. So we're going to be talking about that word digit quite a lot today. The next word that I want to talk to you about is the word place. And I'm sure that you've heard that before because numbers have different places. So the first place that we're going to talk about is the ones place. Okay, and I know you learned about that in first grade. Then we have the tens place, and then we have the hundreds place, okay? And these are the places that we're going to learn about this 9 weeks in second grade. Of course, I could keep going, and there's a thousands place, and 10,000, and 100,000, and the places just keep continuing because I can take those digits and put them together to make different numbers. So depending where I put my number or where I put my digit in the number, the value is going to change. Okay, that's another important word when we talk about place value. So if I put a 2 in the ones place, the value is just 2 because I have 2 units. But if I move that 2 to the tens place and I have 2 groups of 10, the value is going to change. It's no longer worth 2, it's actually going to be worth 20 because I have 2 groups of 10. Or if I took that same 2 and I put it in the hundreds place, I am now saying that I have 2 groups of 100 and the value is actually 200. Those are probably important words that you remember from first grade, and we're going to continue talking about those words as we go through our lesson today. So what Ms. Tucker is going to talk to you about today is how to build numbers in model form. So I'm going to put a place value map for you, and let's talk about the tools that we are going to use. So to model a digit in the ones place, I am going to use something called a unit to show that. Okay, so I could have 1 unit if there was 1 in the ones place, or I could do 2 units, maybe even 3 or 4, or maybe 6, or maybe 8, or maybe even 9. But when I get to 9, I can't put 10 in my ones place, okay? Because I can only have 1 digit in the ones place. So then I'm going to have to move to a different base 10 block, and that is going to be my long or my rod, okay? This group of 10 actually has a value of 10 units. I'm going to show you. So I could take 10 ones and I could line them up next to that rod or next to that long, and it's going to show me that 10 units or 1 long or 1 rod actually have the same value, okay? So this counts as 1 set of 10, and I say that because it's the same length, the same size as the 10 units, okay? If I wanted to show what a 100 would look like, I would have to use a flat, okay? One flat, or 1/100 blocks, has the same value as 10 rods. So I could line these up underneath, and I would be able to see that inside a 100 is 10 tens. So that is how our number system works, okay? And that's why we have digits from 0 to 9. Because when I get 10 of something, it moves to the place to the left, okay? Now I have 10 rods. Do you see how those values are the same? All right, so what we are going to practice today is building some numbers. So the first thing that Ms. Tucker is going to do is I am going to show you a number in standard form. Standard form is where I just write a number using the digits. So I'm going to take this number in standard form and I am going to build it in model form. So when I look right here, I see that I have a 6 in my ones place, and I can even label it. This is my ones place and this is my tens place. Okay, so I am going to first show 6 ones. So I'm going to take my blocks and I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you see how Miss Tucker kind of lined them up in groups of 2? I'm almost making a sideways 10 frame. That makes it makes it easier for me to count 2, 4, 6. So I know I have the correct amount of ones. Now I'm going to move to my tens place. I see the digit 2 in the tens place, so I know I'm going to have to use 2 groups of 10. Now that I have my number built, I have my 2 groups of 10 and my 6 ones, I'm going to go back and I'm going to count to make sure this value equals 26. So I'm going to say 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I know I've built the number correctly. All right, let's look at another number. This time, Miss Tucker is going to build the number 70. So again, I'm going to go in and I'm going to label my places. I have the ones place and I have the tens place. Okay, so I'm going to start in my ones, and man, I see the number 0, so I don't have to put any ones in my mat. So I'm going to go to the tens place and I see 7 groups of 10. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I've built the number. Now I'm going to skip count to check. I know the value of these 10 rods is 10. So when I count, I'm going to say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I've built the value of 70. Notice nothing is in my ones place because I have a 0 in the ones place. It's holding the place. That's why we call it a placeholder. So I don't actually have to show anything on my mat. All right, let's get a little bit more difficult. This time, Miss Tucker is going to try to build the number 126. Again, this number is given to me in standard form. I'm going to go in and I'm going to show this is my ones place, this is my tens place, and this is my hundreds place. Now Miss Tucker normally starts building in the ones place. That way I go from my ones to my tens to my 100s, so I never get confused if I need hundreds blocks or tens blocks, but you certainly do not have to do it that way. If you prefer to start in the hundreds place, that would be okay. Okay, so I'm going to start in my ones and I'm going to show 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice how Miss Tucker has them nice and neat and organized. I can easily count 2, 4, 6. All right, I'm going to move to my tens place and I need 2 groups of 10. 1, 2. In my hundreds place, I need 1 group of 100. Now I'm ready to skip count to make sure I've built it correctly. I would say 100, 110, 120, 121, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I have 126 26. I have built this number in model form. All right, we're going to do one more together. Let me clear my mat. The next number that we are going to build is the number 274. Notice Miss Tucker did not say 274. No, a mathematician would never say that. When we're reading numbers, we do not use the word and unless we're reading a decimal point, and we're not doing that right now. So I'm going to label my places, ones and tens and hundreds. And now I'm ready to start building. So I'm going to start with my 4 units, or my 4 ones. Okay, I've done that. They're nice and neat and organized. Now I need 7 tens. Ooh, that's a lot. I better count carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 groups of tens, and now I need 2 groups of 100. All right, I think I have it, but I'm going to count to make sure. I'd say 100, 200, 210, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. This is 270, 71, 72, 73, 74. So I know I have built the model of 274. Remember, when I write a number with just digits, that is called standard form. When I build my number with base 10 blocks, that is called model form. In your lesson today with your 2nd grade math teacher, you are going to learn how to take model form and draw that into a picture, which is called picture form. Okay? Miss Tucker can't wait for you to learn that today. Good job being a listener and learning all about place value.